Hey, what's up YouTube? Okay, so this is a video response to PD Lumina's latest video titled Collapse, a World You Can't Possibly Imagine. And in it, he basically discusses the actual ramifications of people who are prepping and, the fact that somebody might be stocking up on 10,000 rounds of ammo or 6 months of food. Really, what does that mean that these folks are expecting? And he sort of had an epiphany moment, realizing this stuff. And great video, PD. Agree with what you're talking about there, 100%. The truth of the matter is that 95% of the country learns and believes in Hollywood, and even in the prepper movement, the influence is overwhelming there. The reality of a real, full SHTF scenario is absolutely, totally far from Hollywood, and really barely comprehensible or imaginable to anyone who hasn't lived through something like that. If you watch and pay attention to a lot of war documentaries or talk to any family members who were in any of the wars, if you had a grandfather that was in World War II, or dad or something that was in Vietnam, all these guys, they always have gut stories. Some horrible story. I was holding Jimmy's liver in my left hand and trying to stop the bleeding with my right. This kind of thing. These guys usually all have something like that. But you'll see that the things that really stay with soldiers all their lives are the totally screwed up decisions that they had to make, and basically like the social and the psychological and spiritual traumas that they had to deal with because of those decisions. Those are the stories that you'll hear, and you'll just be like, damn, And like I said, if you watch those documentaries, you can pick up on them and you'll see them. And if you talk to some veterans, they'll have them. And those are the ones that give them the nightmares, and like I say, stay with them for their whole lives. And that's the stuff that Hollywood doesn't really tap into, because they can't tap into that for the most part in a 2-hour movie. You just can't really capture it. If you stop and just think of a handful of the implications of a real SHTF scenario, something like sitting by with your stored food while some of your family is stuck in a city starving to death or worse, over the course of a few days, watching that type of thing on CNN or whatever. Or, if you're in a smaller town or urban area and you guys have all come together, and then you're having women and children come to the neighborhood because they had to evacuate an area, and they have nothing, and they're, hungry, and they just have the tattered clothes on their back. And, you basically, if you have to turn them away because maybe there's some sort of contamination or radioactive thing or something like that. If you really start to think of, in this day and age, the possibilities, just, forget about it. Honestly, from my point of view, I don't believe in dwelling on that stuff too much. Even when I'm doing my own prep stuff, I try not to consider it too heavily. Personally, I prep not for the reality that these things are going to happen, but for the offshoot, like 2% chance that this stuff might happen. And, I'm a firm believer in that if you think about something too much or too long with a lot of certainty, there's this crazy knack for things to manifest themselves. So, that's my take on that. Anyways, I just wanted to shoot this really quick video. Like I said, I think you were spot on with what you were talking about. And, good to see that you're stepping outside of yourself and really opening up your mind to see the bigger picture. Because in the end, whatever's coming down the pike, I think it's people who have that ability to do that will fare what's coming the best. You know, it's not going to be who's got the most ammo and the most water. That's it. Later, YouTube.